own lawn. The grass seemed ordinary enough until Swanson tripped over a rock and arose to find his hands covered with several dozen bloody pinpricks. Apparently the tip of a blade of this grass is incredibly sharp and easily punctures skin. It's no threat to our Foundation-issue boots, but we all have to be careful not to fall on it. We came to a tiny stream, really no more than a trickle. Swanson suggested we could refill our canteens, but Leroy wanted to check the water for something or other first. Swanson took out some equipment and, after a few minutes, announced that it was not water but liquid carbon dioxide. CO2 is usually a gas at this temperature, and it's never a liquid. The laws of physics don't seem to be working right. Haven't had time to record anything for a few days. We made it to an area sparsely populated by trees. The trees were ordinary, looked like birch, but the leaves are wrong. At some point, we lost Leroy. This place is so quiet that none of us really feel comfortable talking, so we have no idea when we lost him. There's a good 8-hour window where he could have gone missing. We called to him, but none of us wanted to split up to look for him. During the night, a tree fell on Swanson's tent. He wasn't hurt and none of the gear was damaged, although the tent got mangled beyond repair. Swanson swears that the tree hadn't been that close when he pitched the thing, and none of us can tell what caused it to fall. The trunk just snapped. We agreed not to pitch our tents anywhere near a tree from now on. The next day, which was really nighttime, we heard the same roar from a few days ago. It sounded exactly the same as before, and again we have no idea what made the
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
I'm on it, Commander. I'm on it, Commander. I'm on it, Commander.
made the sound. We can't even agree which direction it came from. Now that it's just the two of us, it felt weirder sitting in silence, so I asked Swanson a bit about himself. He's divorced and pretty down on his luck from what he told me, and he's equally irritated about the coffee ban on the other side of the pool, but he doesn't know anything about why it isn't allowed. Maybe if this mission goes well, he can request a transfer to a more normal site.
Commander,
Well, as normal
Dr.
as they
Valen
get in the
reports that
Foundation.
research is progressing in the labs, but it will still be some time before the project is complete. While we're waiting, our local satellite network has just come online, and we can now begin scanning for new activity. The process could take several days.
The schematics for the nanofiber
What seemed
vest
to
are
be a
complete,
huge cliff in
Command.
the distance turned out to be an artificially constructed wall. It's made of solid rusty iron, and it stands maybe 50 feet high. To the left and to the right, it goes on farther than
Thank you,
the eye can
Commander.
see.
I will
can't
let you
imagine.
know when this research has been completed.
Engineering online.
It appears Dr. Shen's staff have finally figured out how to turn their machines on.
Commander to engineering. Commander to engineering.
Imagine how thick it is. We have no way around it.
Commander,
Our options were to
I
go
was
over it
wondering
or
when you'd
through
be
it.
stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
so Swanson jerry-rigged some kind of blowtorch thing with our equipment. I swear this guy is MacGyver. We cut a hole in the iron wall big enough for us to go through. It turns out it's only about 1/4 of an inch thick, but there's another wall behind it with less than a foot between. Apparently this thing has multiple layers. Swanson cut through 8 of them before we finally made it to the other side. The grass on this side is black. Not burnt or anything, it's just a different color. And finally there's some wind. I was getting tired of...
Fabrication of the nanofiber vest is complete, Commander. It has been delivered to the armory.
Commander to the barracks. Commander to the barracks.
New items and weapons from engineering will always be delivered directly to the armory, Commander.
I half expected the holes we cut through the walls to have sealed up or something, but they were still there. Thank God, or whoever runs the show in this world. I don't think Swanson is going to make it through the night. He lost a lot of blood.
Commander to the Situation Room. Commander to the Situation Room.
Commander, the Council has requested a word.
Commander, our sources have identified a number of reports regarding alien involvement in the transportation and dispersal of an unknown substance near civilian population centers. It is imperative that you investigate this activity and determine the purpose of the alien material. We will transmit further details momentarily.
Sounds like we better get to it.
I awoke to find that Swanson had crossed. I didn't want to do it, but I had no choice but to terminate him. I'm sure that something back home might have been able to help him, but I couldn't afford to have... I awoke to find that Swanson had crossed. I didn't want to do it, but I had no choice but to terminate him. I'm sure that something back home might have been able to help him, but I couldn't afford to have him slow me down. There are only a few more days until... I made it back to the ship with only an hour or 2 to spare. The first thing Marty asked was what had happened to Swanson and Leroy, as if a few dead team members are our biggest problems right now. Marty has us underway, and we're definitely sinking.
Excellent.
I just hope
We
don't...
look forward to seeing your progress.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
The next deployment site is in the UK.
That object is different from the others. It does not appear to be the same type of pod we've seen used by the aliens during their abduction operations. We may gain new insights if we recover it.
This appears to be a containment device of some kind. We can only assume it has an internal self-destruct mechanism like the other alien equipment. Although it must have already been disabled somehow.
Be advised, Commander. Intel confirms enemy activity in this area.
There may be additional canisters like this one in the area. The more we can recover, the more we'll learn about what's inside them.
Any others you find may still have operational self-destruct modules. Be careful.
Solid copy.
Toasted.
Target confirmed. On our way.
Understood. Moving out.
Visual
the
on
energy
the
signature
goods.
coming from that device implies the self-destruct mechanism is still intact and priming for detonation. You need to move quickly to recover it before it's too late.
Already there. On the move. Hostile spotted. On the move.
Affirmative. Moving out.
Let's do this.
They're flanking my
Watch
position.
the sides!
In hand, Commander.
Excellent work, Commander. That should provide us with an ample supply of this substance for analysis.
Moving out. I'll get him next time.
Okay.
On the move!
Incoming fire!
Damn, we lost one.
We will be in touch, Commander.
Commander, to the Situation Room.
We have medals available in the barracks, Commander, if you feel any soldiers merit an award.
Commander, good news. The Council has donated a satellite. Our current satellite uplink facility can support up to 2 satellites, so I recommend we launch the new one immediately.
Satellite.
With this additional satellite in place, we've gained a significant upgrade to our overall coverage. I recommend we begin scanning for alien contacts right away. You're telling me that we should risk the lives of our troops so we can take one of these things alive?
Yes. Without a live specimen, I'm afraid we've reached the pinnacle of what my team is able to accomplish.
And how do you suggest we do this, Doctor?
The autopsy I've just completed confirms that the alien's physiology is quite similar to our own. A highly concentrated electrical current delivered at close range should cause
Close range? And what happens if it doesn't work? Do you really think this is worth the risk?
I do. We do not know our enemy. How can we hope to stop something that we do not understand? If we can capture one of these creatures alive, we may be able to communicate with it.
And interrogate it. Find out what they want. Where they're operating from.
Yes. That possibility outweighs all risks, in my opinion. I can construct a safe enough facility to house our captive, but I do not know how we could possibly communicate with it.
Not to worry. I will see to that.
All right. I'll speak to the commander. Commander, based on Dr. Valen's report, I recommend we begin researching the new weapon she's calling the Arc Thrower in the labs. Once completed, we can send the plans down to engineering for fabrication, and then equip one of our troops with it in the barracks. Dr. Shen and the engineering team are also waiting on approval for construction of the containment facility that we'll need in order to house the alien captive.
Commander to Engineering. Commander to Engineering.
Commander, no doubt you are aware of Dr. Valen's request to capture one of the aliens. A sound plan, but she fails to realize that we lack a facility to safely contain a live specimen. With your approval, my team and I will begin construction of a suitable facility. Thank you, Commander. I'll let you know when the facility is ready. Dr. Valen has asked to see you, Commander. No doubt she wishes to explain her plan, personally.
Commander to the Research Labs. Commander to the Research Labs.
Commander, I'm sure you've been briefed on my request. With your authorization, we can begin research on the Arc Thrower immediately.
Commander to Mission Control. Satellite coverage now available over China.
Looks like that satellite we launched paid off. We're picking up an unidentified fast mover. If we scramble an interceptor now, we may be able to take it down.
We have eyes on the bandit. Central, this is Voodoo 3-7. We have a confirmed kill on Bogey 001. I repeat, the UFO is down. I'll copy, over.
Solid copy, Voodoo 3-7. Nice work. Central out. All right, people. Retask Recon Satellite Bravo and get me a visual on that crash site.
She's coming into range now, sir.
On screen. Magnify. Still in one piece. Commander, I recommend we get a strike team to the crash site immediately.
Affirmative, Commander.
Prepare for deployment, Strike One.
Our target site is near the German border. It looks like
This is Big Sky. We're just north of the crash site. Strike One is in position to engage.
loud and clear, Big Sky. We'll monitor those readings from here. Strike One is authorized to assault the alien craft.
On the move.
Looks like the crash site is dead ahead. We should expect heavy resistance here. There's no telling how many hostiles were on board. Approach the craft with caution and attempt a breach if possible.
On the move.
Already there. Enemies in sight.
Solid copy.
Solid copy.
Headed there now.
Got a lot of heat on me. Incoming over here. I'm about to start keeping score.
I'll get him next time.
Got him.
Time to motor.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Running. I've got a visual.
Rolling out.
That's affirmative. Damn it.
It's been secured. X-ray down.
Heading to that location.
The alien craft is still intact, and they've got some kind of energy field protecting parts of the ship. We'll have to look for an opening.
That's affirmative. Got him.
Time to motor. Roger, Dodger.
Moving to designated position.
That's affirmative.
That's affirmative.
Affirmative. Moving out.
Alien
Hostile
object
spotted.
in sight.
The readings coming from that creature are like nothing I've ever seen.
You can study it when it's dead, Doctor. Let's take that thing down.
Toasted.
Mission accomplished.
Welcome back, Commander. I wanted to speak to you about our current fleet of interceptors. It's crucial that we keep several of these aircraft on high alert. We'll need them to intercept any future alien contacts, and it's likely we'll suffer some losses in the process. I think it's also worth mentioning that even a full squadron of interceptors will do no good against our enemy if we don't know where they are. Additional satellite coverage will be required before we are able to detect alien craft elsewhere on the planet. Visit us in engineering should you wish to build additional satellites. Goodbye, Commander.
I agree. That does seem to be the most pressing of our current research options. We'll begin immediately. I will notify you when a complete report is available.